All right, guys. Well, meanwhile, last night in 32-5A, Brownsville Pace got starting running back Sam Trejo back in the lineup for the first time in about a month as the Vikings took on Rivera at Sam Stadium, and the Pace defense in effect. No score in the second. Rivera looking to the air, but Hugo Martinez on the other end, and he's wearing a green jersey. Pace took over. Dustin Hernandez would go up top immediately to Adrian Alejandro. Look at this. Yeah, nice pitch and catch. Vikings go up 7-0. Now, Rivera would respond. Osio Benavides, probably one of the more underrated quarterbacks this year, but he throwing it up for Cesar Garcia. Nice catch, stays in bounds, but the Vikings would pull away and get the win 33-14. Pace is now 3-1 in 32-5A. Rivera is winless, and Weslaco is alone on top after the big win over San Benito. So San Benito and Pace now tied, and we have a two-way tie for fourth between Los Fresnos and Hanna, but it's not really a tie because Los Fresnos beat Hanna this past week. So, Joe, let's start with you and your thoughts on what happened this past week in 32-5A, specifically San Benito Weslaco. I know you were there for that one.
Well, let's start with that one. That's where the top is, and that's where the Weslaco Panthers made the statement that we are the team to beat. We were the team to beat, and guess what? Coming next year, we're going to be the team to beat again because of the fact of the way they just set it up. Mash you right over the field, and they beat up San Benito pretty good. Now, that Pace team, I want to give credit to Pace when you look at that team. You know, they lost to San Benito, but they have turned it around with some games. You talk about must-win ball games. Right back in the playoff next to the Pace Vikings, but you go back to Weslaco, what an impressive statement with the way their offense played defense for nearly the entire team.
And their defense wasn't too bad either.
Well, that was the thing that caught my eye in the numbers. I mean, they only gave San Benito 159 total yards. Yeah. And, you know, they had a turnover and return late to get back in it, but Weslaco rushed for nearly 400. You know, they made us look like clowns for picking against them. Yeah. And I had a feeling that was going to happen, too. As soon as we picked him, I thought, we were picking against Coach Tony. I seen him a night before the game over there in PSJ, and he was just kind of giggling. Yeah. I think he kind of knew what was going to happen, man. That guy is something else.
Yeah, one other thing I want to throw out there, you know, kudos to the Weslaco coaching staff. When you have something that's working, a lot of coaches won't stick with it for the entire game. They'll say, well, we got to tweak this or tweak this. We're going to run the football 3, 4, 5 yards of carry, and we're going to do it all night long, and they did.
Ball control, man, is the theme.
Okay, but it's not the theme for Los Fresnos, who all of a sudden goes from being just nothing but going on the ground and running to throwing it up. Joe Michael Rosales comes out of nowhere. I mean, where did this passing game come from for the Falcons, Joe, and what can they do with it for the rest of the year?
Well, the thing about it, you know, we saw Weslaco do it earlier this year, and the fact that, you know, Porter pushed them to open up the passing game. Now, I think a lot of these coaches that have this big-time running attack have got this in their arsenal, and they keep it in the background, work on it over and over and over. In this case, they found something that worked, and why not? Call the plays from up top and say, hey, this is going to work. It kept working, and you've already practiced it. People may not think you are, but you are.
Does it make Los Fresnos now the favorite to take that fourth and final spot in 32-5A, Greg?
I think if you were to say that, I wouldn't think you were crazy. Rosales is a big kid, and he's getting better every week. Akeem Simeon is a stud, man. That guy can do it all. He was the one that ran that long ball y'all looked at, 72 yards. So they got the balance now. They got a reasonably good defense. I expect them to make it. I think Hanna might be the odd man out. You know, they had a good run. I'm not saying it's over, but they got a tough 3 games coming up, and some of the tiebreakers go against them. So, yeah, I think Los Fresnos is a pretty good pick to make the playoff.